Good morning.
Alrighty, so welcome everyone to our mobility and flexibility class. So still feeling a little bit under the weather, but not as bad as last week. I feel like at 70% now compared to like 20% last week. So anyway, we'll get started. We'll stretch from our chair, and then we'll get up and we'll do some standing stretches, and then we'll finish off on the floor and go ahead and continue, yeah, with our final stretches on the floor. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's begin with our facial exercises. So let's open our mouth as wide as we can. Turn your head up and close your jaw. Bring your chin to your nose. So again, just open wide. And you should feel a nice pull going by your throat. Okay, so again, repeat. We're doing 10 of those. Eight, 10. All right, very good. Now let's just go ahead and start with our facial exercises. So just gently touching from our earlobes down our jawline towards our chin. Anytime you add a little bit of pressure or touch to the body, um, blood vessels get activated. We're just trying to promote some blood flow to our face. Unless you're smiling a lot or um, making a lot of different facial expressions, then your face doesn't get much touch unless you have a 2-year-old on toddler jumping on you every morning, like I do. Let's go ahead and the side of our eyes and then down to the side of our face, just gentle. Grab the back side of our knuckles and just roll on our cheeks. The touches. Already sprinkling. But I hear the worst of it's gonna be tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and fill up our cheeks with air. So just inflate them with air and just move that pocket of air from cheek to cheek. You get a little sore so you can release that air and refill your cheeks with air. Continue. And Debbie, Lisa, just left to right. Once you've done that, let's go up, upper lip and lower lip. Very good. All right. Now what I want you to do, I want you to inhale through your nose for about 4 seconds and exhale through a little windpipe that you're gonna make through your mouth for about 7 seconds. Okay, so it should look something like this. So you have no more air and your core is gonna get really tight. And it's also gonna be a little abdominal exercise. Okay, so let's do 8 of those. Good morning, Jen. A little longer, but it's good for you. Three more. Last one. Very good. All right, so that's kind of does it for our facial exercises. Let's go ahead and just start with our neck stretches. Okay, so we're gonna go left to right, just gentle. If you're tight anywhere or you want to stretch a certain area, just go ahead and comment on the chat what it is you want to focus on, and we could do that. Okay, so now same thing. So let's look left, but I want you to add a little bit of pressure to your chin and that's gonna help rotate your neck further left. Okay, so look left and then push a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now turn to your right and do the same. Push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now we're looking straight and we're gonna look up and down. Okay, so gentle. So you gotta be careful with neck stretches. You do a sudden movement, you could really irritate your neck. Okay, let's look up and we're gonna apply a little bit of pressure under our jawline so we could stretch up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. And then we're gonna look down and with both our hands, grab the top part of our head and drop our elbows forward. 1, 2, 4, 5. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and sit on our left hand. That's gonna fix our left shoulder. I'm gonna allow it to move. Bring that right hand over and just allow that right elbow to drop. Hey, Sarah, Maria, Ella, Doris, good morning. Get ready for more rain. Sprinkling out here, but it should pick up more in the next 48 hours, I hear. It should be fine by the weekend, but the next 2 days is supposed to be raining. Okay, let's sit on that right hand. Very good. We're gonna do some neck circles now. So look down and then just keep your head in contact with your torso. So your shoulders or your upper chest, your upper back. Rotating. Switch directions. Very good. Okay, we're gonna go back and forth between some back, shoulder, and neck stretches. If we do the shoulders, everything for the shoulders right away, our shoulders are gonna be really sore. So let's start off with some snow angels. So just gentle. Okay, we're gonna do single arm windmills, so one arm at a time. Let me check my phone. I just got a credit card fraud alert. Making sure that looks from. It looks like a scam of a scam. So be careful with those. Sometimes it could be a fraudulent account imitating your actual account, and yeah, could just spiral into a world of problems. Switch and reverse. Has anyone ever gone through some terrible moments with stuff like that? Unless I get an announcement from the actual application, I sometimes just ignore um those messages because those tend to be the fraudulent um targets. Okay, switch. 8 and then reverse. 1, 2. We're gonna be doing some new movements today with our chair. So just so we could diversify our exercises a little bit. All right, very good. All right, so before we get those shoulders sore, we're gonna continue with our neck. So I just want you to kind of make a fist here with both your hands, bring them in front of you, look down and punch forward, and reset. So look down and then push forward, reset, down, forward, continue. Again, let's do 2 more. Last one. Ooh. And those arms do get a little tired. Okay. We'll do a gentle shoulder one right now. It's gonna be our shoulder circles. So just shoulder circles. So up, forward, down, back. Then reverse. So up, back, down, forward. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna do our cat scratching pose. So for this one, sit near the edge of your chair, not too far back. That's gonna have the structure of the chair get in our way. So we're gonna reach up, keep your back straight, all the way straight. And once you're down here, reset, come back. And we're gonna do 10 of those. Okay. Do two more. Reach. Very good. Okay. We're gonna continue with our shoulders here. So elbows up and expand. So shoulders, upper back for this one. Go for four more. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and grab a hold, legs pointing forward, grab a hold of your right side of your backrest. Okay, and then just kind of pull yourself towards it without rotating your shoulders. I mean, without rotating your legs or your hips. And just hold gently. Reach a little bit more. Take a deep breath and reach a little bit more. Relax. And go to the other side. And so rotate, reach. A little more. Very good. Okay, so next we're gonna go ahead and continue with our elbows, I mean with our shoulders. So this one's just gonna be bring that right arm up and drop. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. Right, switch. 1, 2, 3. You got a good amount of people today. So appreciate everyone showing up. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. All right, let's transition down to our arms. So not too much with our arms. We do use our arms um, very frequently. Our legs too, just to like get around, unless we just happen to be, um, you know, with the leg injury or if we're on the couch a little bit longer because of back pain. But yeah, we'll try to focus a little bit more on on some of the movements that might be a little bit foreign to us. So just shoulder taps here, just working on some of the motions that our elbows are able to do. So now palms up and then press down. Remember, if you don't use a movement, if you don't, you tend not to, just a range of motion that it seems that you're able to do, but you just don't do it because just the lifestyle, or maybe, you know, just it's not necessary, like walking around sideways. Um, that doesn't make any sense. But the muscles that allow our legs to do that need to be activated in order to work properly. So sometimes we just gotta continue doing some of those movements. Okay. So, all right, let's go ahead and work our little way down. So right ankle on that left knee. That's why when astronauts go to outer space and they're floating around, not really using um, their joints for strength purposes, to get around. Sometimes they come back lighter and have a tough time walking around. Um, so yeah, because those joints and muscles aren't being used. So this is going to be stretching our piriformis, which is going to be one of the muscles that runs towards the back area of your leg, of your femur. So if you're really tight, this might be a little bit painful or difficult to do. And then if you're really tight, you might not even be able to do this next one. So just gently apply a little bit of pressure on that right knee. Bring that knee up, hug it out. Now you should feel it a little bit higher. Okay. Then we're gonna switch. And just hold it there. Push down gently. Hug it out. Right. Okay. So this is where we're gonna be doing our balance work now. So I think you folks are familiar with this one. Yeah, we'll need the chair over here. And we're gonna do 8 of each. Okay, so just 8 standing up with no assistance of our hands. Again, just here, come up, stand up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, good. So catch your breath, grab some water. The next one is gonna be on our left leg. Well, let's do our right leg being active, which means our left leg is either gonna be extended a little bit closer to us or completely elevated, okay? So it's gonna be the most challenging if it's elevated. Next challenging if it's extended, and then the closer you bring it to your body, the easier it will get. But let's try to challenge ourselves. So we're gonna try to at least have it extended or halfway there. But if you're really confident, just elevate it. So 8 of those, okay? Ready? And 1. And just be careful that you're not on a chair that rolls. 2. You don't want that chair to roll behind you. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Perfect. When you're ready, just catch your breath. And you switch. Was that challenging for anyone? Is everyone able to do those? All right, let's elevate that right leg now. That left leg is going to be active, okay? Ready, begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Very good. Awesome. All right, you can remove your shoes. We're going to move down to our lower legs now. So right here, we're just going to go ahead, feet are flat, and just do some heel raises. So just give me about 20 of those. Could just be quickly up, and then as quickly just bring them back down. We're doing 20 of these. We're going to be using our golf ball right now in a second, just so we could strengthen our arches. So just start thinking where that golf ball is. Okay, feet flat now, and then now let's reach up 4 toes towards the ceiling. 3 heels are flat. And your toes are coming off the floor. Very good. Keep it going. So about 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Okay. Elevate your right ankle and just trace the letters of the alphabet. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. N, G, H, J. Is anyone else sick or feels like they're getting sick right now? We'll switch. Hopefully you're feeling good. All the way to Z. Okay. Very good. Okay, our feet are flat. What I want you to do is try to bring your toes towards your heels. So yeah, so almost like we're scratching the floor. We're gonna do two variations of this movement. So just claw at the floor. Okay, and then now, instead of clawing, we're gonna try to bring our toes towards our heel, but without bending the knuckles, if that makes sense, okay? You're still bringing your toes back, but you're not curling your toes, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is gonna be strengthening our arches. So pull them back and hold for about 2 seconds, and then relax. Pull, hold, relax, pull, hold, relax. Good. Awesome. All right, let's grab that golf ball. And do me a favor. You could use this time too to drink some water if you like. Yesterday, I went to go get a haircut, and I wasn't talking very much just because, I've been a little sick, so I don't want to be contagious too much. So I yeah, halfway through the haircut, I just got this crazy cough attack. So let's have that golf ball or I have my lacrosse ball here. And we're just gonna push down and then again just roll back and forth. And yeah, so I was very you know, I was freaked out because I've never coughed like that. My mouth was completely dry. I thought I was gonna almost throw up, I felt like, because it was so dry and I didn't know what to do. Luckily, yeah, the barber got me some water, but yeah, it wasn't a fun time. So let's look for that tender spot. Yep, Julian home today. He's screaming right now. That tender spot is good. And then now we're just gonna focus around applying a little bit of pressure around that spot that feels a little bit tender. Okay, so just move the ball around that area. Do the switch. Back and forth. Feel that tender spot, something that feels a little bit um, tender and maybe a little bit sensitive. So let's focus on that and push down a little bit. And then again, just focus around it. Okay. All right. Very good. Let's go ahead and put on our shoes. We're gonna be on our feet, or you could be barefoot. I don't like walking around my garage floor with barefoot. So we're gonna have the chair nearby. We won't use it right now for this first one, but just have it handy. Okay, hopefully it's a chair that you can manage, that's not too high. So I want you to look for a post or the edge of a doorway. So I have my squat rack here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm right next to it. I'm extending my hand on it. I'm straight, and I'm gonna rotate my body to my left. Okay, so I'm just gonna turn my body to my left, I'm getting a nice stretch right here through my arm and my shoulder, and a little bit of my chest. So I'm gonna hold this stretch for about 20 seconds. Okay, so remember, I started facing straight towards the camera, and then I turned to my left, and now I'm facing about 45 degrees to my left. Good. All right, switch sides. So now I'm gonna be facing the garage door here, and I'm gonna turn to my right. Okay, so I'm turning to my right. Feel like I have a little bit more range of motion on this. I'm able to turn a little bit further, so definitely my right side's a little tighter than my left. Very good. Okay, so this is where we're gonna be using our chair. Okay, so for the chair, I'm gonna just hold on to, again, my post here. And what I wanna do is I wanna bring, I'm standing close to my chair here. I wanna bring my left arm leg over and then going backwards and reverse too, okay? So just make sure you're holding on to something sturdy, and have the chair nearby. And if this top side of the chair is too high, then focus on the bottom part where you're sitting at, okay? So go here. And it's really important that we don't rotate our body too much, so we don't want to drop our torso. We're gonna keep it as straight as we can. And if that's a challenge, like I said, you can focus on the lower side of the chair. This is working on our hip joint. Let's do one more in reverse. Okay, now I'm gonna switch. And I'm gonna do my right side. I'm gonna go reverse and then forward. So I'll do about 6 of each. 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 6. Awesome. All right, we could put our chair, actually, we could do another one with your chair. So just make sure your chair doesn't move. So right here, it's pretty sturdy. I have it up against the floor mats. So what I want to do is just step on my chair here. And I just want to either bring my hips back or bring my knee forward. Let's go this way. Back and forth. I think Julian's here. You guys want to say hi to Julian? Bring our hips back and forth. Let's switch. And then again, hips back and forward. Let me bring him up real quick just to say hi. 1 second. Okay. He's back inside. All right, so let's go ahead and remove our chair. Let's go ahead and grab our foam roller or broomstick so we can work on our shoulders. If you have that item, go ahead and grab that. Working on the shoulder here. So again, you have your item. we could begin. So just left to right. Focusing left to right here. All right, let's go that left shoulder. Go up, focusing on that left shoulder. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 30 degrees forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 90 right in front of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, towards the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, right shoulder now. So right shoulder comes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 30 degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 60 degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 90 right in front of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Towards the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, behind the back here. And you're gonna go up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, we're done with the shoulder stretches there. Now we're just gonna do a little bit of standing stretches. So just trunk rotations. Okay, so just gentle left to right. Little ab circles. 1, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, big hula hoops. So just big hip circles. Just bring your hips out all around. Good. switch. All right, very good. We're gonna do some standing hip openers now. Okay, so just drive that knee forward and then out and down. Okay, and then we're alternating. So we'll do 6 on each leg. So drive knee forward, up to the side, and down. Two more on each leg. Okay, let's do a little bit of balance work. So quad stretch, grab your ankle and pull back. Switch. Back on that left ankle. Let's go ahead and grab our yoga mats. Grab your yoga mats. We'll transition to the floor. We drink a little bit of water. Okay. Right, so we're gonna transition to the floor. So again, the first one we're gonna do is we're just kneeling here. Okay, kneeling. My right leg is gonna come out to the side. Toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. And I'm just gonna hold this stretch here for a second. Sometimes this is enough of a stretch. And next, we're just gonna go ahead and lean forward and just support yourself with your hands. And we're just kind of getting a little inner thigh stretch here. Okay, and then from here, so we could get a little bit more rotation. Let's go left to right, left, right, left, right. And then now we're gonna turn our torso towards our leg, and then lean towards it. Okay, make sure it's not painful, but we still want to stretch. Reset. Okay, switch legs. Left leg is extended. Hold it for a little bit. You're breathing. Light lean forward. up, and then turn your trunk left, right, left, right, left, right. Very good. Turn your torso towards your left leg and lean towards it. Very good. All right, we're gonna get on the floor, so belly down. We're just gonna be on the floor, belly down. Okay, and then just kind of extend your toes behind you. And then just rest here for a second. Relax your back. Let's get on our elbows. So just rest on your elbows, a little bit of a stretch right now. Okay, let's put our hands where our elbows are. And push. Go from here, bring your glutes to your heels in one motion. Okay. So now we're on your fours. So from here, we're gonna arch up, arch down, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, repeat. Okay. Shift your hands to the left side, so off your yoga mat. Don't move your knees or your legs. From here, you're off to the side. You're gonna arch up and bring your glutes back to your heels and hold. Reset. Now we're gonna shuffle to our right side. Okay, arch up, glutes back, hold. Reset. Go back this way. Okay, and then from here, we're gonna drop to your elbows. Drop to your elbows, and then bring your right hand under the space here through your body. So bring your right arm there and just drop on that side and hold. You're resting on your right shoulder pretty much. Reset. Okay, so drop on your elbows. Now you're gonna bring your left arm through the space on your right side. Reset. We're gonna lay on your back with the sit-up position. Okay, arms to your side. And you're just gonna drop your knees side to side, okay? So knees drop to your right, reset, drop to your left. Drop. From here, bring your right knee up and hold it. So just hold right below your knee and pull back. Switch. Okay. And then our last one is gonna be book openers. So let's get on our left side, our right side. Stack your left hand on top of your right, knee on knee, heel on heel. And we're gonna go ahead and just open up, reach far back, and close. Okay, we're gonna do 8 of those on each side. Do 2 more. Okay, let's switch. Switch sides. Stack. And reach. Very good. All right, folks. How's everyone doing? Pretty quiet class today. Miss those folks that talk all the time. So, nice and warm. Ella, morning. Debbie.
Good
Oh,
morning.
Where is
right.
Julian?
He's inside. I was gonna go get him, and it was still kind of sprinkling, and his my wife had just kind of gave me a look.
Look,
So yeah,
next time.
so but yeah, but I appreciate you. Remember on Monday, holidays, so we won't be meeting on Monday. So next week it's just on Wednesday. And I believe after that week, we might just have
One more.
two more weeks. Yeah.
One
Uh,
more or one more?
two? I think let me double check because we're done. I think we're done on the 8th. Could be wrong. Let me see. This class is, yeah, this session kind of flies by because of the um
March
yeah.
3rd, the 3rd is the last one on Monday.
So March
the
9th
5th.
is the last one. So yeah, so that means that March 3rd and March 5th would be our last sessions. And then we have 1 week off, and then we start back up with the following 8 weeks. So yeah.
Do you know when registration starts again? Because I want to
So
sign up for more
for those
classes.
other classes, it should be open already. Because
Okay.
everyone in this class is already, that was actually not everyone in this class, but everyone that was in my previous semester was re-enrolled into everything for the spring. So but yeah, but you have time to enroll for, I mean, even for I think the deadline for this class is like this Friday. So if anyone wanted to enroll in this class, they still have to this Friday. So you're safe for the following 8 weeks. So, but yeah, but those start on, and I think at least for these sessions, they'll start on,
Yeah, Friday class.
I'm sorry?
No, you're telling this Friday class?
No, right now it's just Monday and Wednesday. Yeah. In the summer, it's Monday through Saturday. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So yeah, so the following 8 week course begins on the 17th of March.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see how many people we have show up. But
The next summer class when it starts?
summer starts, oof, way
It's in
ahead of me. I think it's like Monday, May 26th. So yeah, we're about
Uh,
3.5 months.
okay, there is enough time for us
Yeah,
to
that's
research.
yeah. That's I know for that they want everyone to be enrolled by early May to um kind of make those class you know official. So but yeah, if